Welcome to Needy and Normal. I'm your host, Ashley Levering, mom, wife, and life coach. After years of coaching and learning from my own life, one thing is clear. Meeting your needs is essential for a better life. Here, we'll talk about your needs and not only learn to accept them, but also tend to them without guilt. Let's get needy, because it's normal. Welcome back to Needy and Normal in 2025. This is the first episode of the new year. I'm so glad you're here. I'm super proud of you because the reason you push play is not only personal to you, but it means that you showed up. It means that something is alive in you and something in you is craving to kind of figure things out or wrap your head around something, or at least have the opportunity to reflect and hopefully be proud of yourself for a lot of things. And that's part of the reason what we're doing here anyways, but especially today as we kick off the new year. Even if you listen to this at another time in the year, this is your reflection episode, and not just to see what did I do well, what have I not done well. It's what can I be proud of and what can I focus on. So keep those things in mind. What can I be proud of from the year behind me, and what can I focus on now? What needs more attention or continued attention? Where does my focus belong moving forward? Because I'm a big fan of no regrets. We learn and we grow. We don't need to regret, and we don't need to start over all the time. Sometimes we do, but often it's just about continuing. And I did a post on Instagram recently that let your New Year's resolution be more about what you're not going to stop doing, how you're going to continue moving forward. So by getting focused on the things that really matter to you and the things that you need to give your attention to, it can drive you forward and not in a way to say you didn't do enough. You didn't figure it out last year, so you got to figure it out now. It's not about that. Always be proud of progress you've made. Always claim the wins under your belt, no matter what, no matter where you are in life, no matter where you are in the process of achieving something. Just keep going. And it's completely normal to need to pause for a moment and give yourself the pride you deserve. Be proud of those things, grab those wins, and it's completely normal to not be done. You're not done. You're never done. And that's just the hard but beautiful truth is, as long as you're alive and there's a heart beating in your chest, you're not done here. There's much to do. There's much to notice and be aware of and appreciate about yourself and your life. And so this episode is not only to encourage you to think about what you've done well in the past year and what you're going to focus on next, but also just to recognize that wherever you are, it's okay. It's okay. No extra stressing allowed. I was just, right before I hit record, I was just looking at my goal list for 2024. And I'm sorry if I make a bunch of noise. I'm going to look at it. I have it up like a picture frame. And on the left side, I have it in two columns. On the left side, it's goals for 2024. And I have 5 of them. And on the right side, it's daily or weekly goals, and there are 7 of them. On goals for 2024, my number 1 goals were to really focus on my mental and physical healthy habits. So that was number 1. Number 2, and I don't know if I put these in any specific order, but that one is number 1. Number 2, I put down simplify. And I meant in my home, like I've been craving like a great purge. Like I'm constantly wanting to downsize and get rid of things that I don't use all the time or that the kids don't use all the time. In my words, I want to simplify too. When I'm having conversations, especially when I coach, that's a different way. of communicating because I do much more listening than actually using my words. But in my daily life with my friends and my family, I've been very conscious of wanting to just simplify my words. Sometimes I over explain, sometimes I say more than I need to. I probably do it here sometimes, but hey, I'm a human. But that is something I like to focus on. I will continue that. All of these, by the way, I'm continuing on into 2025. Number 3 for me was focusing on my relationships and creating memories. So with friends and family, focusing on those relationships, really connecting with the people that matter to me and creating memories. Number 4, overall feeling balance and peace and alignment. And I know that one's loaded, and I'll pick that more apart for 2025. But that mattered to me to feel balance in my daily life, feel peace in my daily life, and feel alignment in what I was doing with myself throughout my year, throughout my day, throughout my month and weeks, and breaking it down. And so a lot of times I will ask, and I share this with people all the time. The question I will ask myself is, okay, what do I need? And often it's me trying to reach for how do I get back into alignment, and take that little nugget with you today. Whenever you ask yourself that question, what do I need? A lot of times you are reaching for what's going to make me feel okay in my mind and my body. What decisions can I make that help me feel like I'm doing the right thing for me? That's alignment. Whether it's about a career or who you're dating, whatever it is, alignment has a lot to do with what do I need? And it has a lot to do with what you want. I'm going to talk a lot about what do you want in the next episode, several episodes probably, because needs and wants get blurred and confused, and sometimes we think wants and needs don't go together, but oftentimes they do. So in that word alignment, I believe they do. My 5th goal for 2024 was to get my podcast up and running. Hey. I'm very proud of that. I think this is episode 40 something. Like, hello, woo woo, we did it. I'm very proud of that. Also, I wanted to get my course up and running, my first live coaching program. I did a pilot program last year. I have worked very hard to fine tune it and tweak it and have it ready for you for 2025. Let's go. So I achieved those 2 business goals, which make me so happy. I'm so proud. I'm so excited to share both the podcast and the live coaching course with you. Check out my website. There will be information coming out all about that very soon. And then I'm moving over to my daily and weekly goals. So number 1 was just to move. Just move your body, be active. So if I could tell someone, I could sit in a conversation and say, yeah, I would consider myself an active person. I move a lot. Oftentimes I go a full day without even sitting down. That can be a problem on occasion, but I always move. Number 2 was getting out in nature. And part of my goal with getting out in nature more was adding Roy, our Bernese Mountain Dog, to the family. I knew that would get me outside. I have a million reasons why I wanted this dog. Go listen to the Roy episode. But one of them was so I could ensure getting outside, breathing fresh air would be a part of my daily life. And it is. It's worked. Woohoo! Achieved. Another one of my daily goals was to read. I like reading. Now I more love reading, and I try to diversify my reading a little bit. Of course, I'm going to do some research and do some self-help books just to kind of get some ideas and fuel my brain as a coach. But also, I love reading stories. I like mysteries. I like crime stories. I do. I love love stories. So I've really tried to get more into physically reading a book. But I also really got into audiobooks this year, which was fun. Are you into audiobooks? If you listen to podcasts, I would imagine listening to an audiobook would be right up your alley, right? Me too. Number 4, and this one's super important to me and always will be, I will continue this one and carry it on into the future, is be present. So in my goals for 2024, one of the big things was, focusing on relationships and creating memories. Well, being present obviously goes with that. And that was a daily goal for me. So at any given moment, I try very hard to be in the moment. When we overthink or we think about the future or we worry about the past, we're not being present when that happens, right? So I try and be very conscious of it. And the first thing to do there is just to be aware. So if I can at least pull myself aside and be like, hold on, Are you aware of what's happening right now in this present moment? Be aware. It is an active practice, and I will continue that as well. Also, what I'm practicing is my mindfulness. This is goal number 5 for my daily and weekly goals that I am going to carry on into the next year. All of these are going to come with me, which is part of the purpose of this reflection episode is things that you've achieved, be proud of, and things that you liked achieving and want to keep in motion, just carry those right through. Take them with you. They don't have to stay in the past. Take them with you. So this one's practice my calm and my mindfulness as a mom who, as you know, I do a lot of mommying alone. That's just part of our life, but because of that, my nervous system gets overloaded and I get overstimulated and I get overwhelmed, and I'm a normal human person who sometimes yells at my kids, and I don't want to do that, but it happens. It gets to be a lot when you're trying to make lunches while the dog needs to eat and the kids are running around the house and there's things to be, it just gets to be a lot, right? So I always have to kind of reel myself in and take a deep breath. So one of my biggest goals that I will continue always is to try and maintain my calm and my mindfulness and just notice what's happening and take a breath and get my mind in the right place when I'm especially feeling overwhelmed. And it happens, right? Along with this mindfulness, my 6th goal was and still will be mindful eating and drinking. And so notice the words I'm using with myself. And this is something you might want to use with your own life is I'm not putting on there, eat a healthy diet, don't ever drink, cut out chocolate. Like I'm not being super harsh on myself. By the way, I would never, ever cut out chocolate. Hell no. But that's me. But mindful eating and drinking is about moderation and balance and not depriving yourself, but also being disciplined. So for me, and I have a whole other way that I kind of approach this eating and drinking and working out lifestyle, it is about balance. And so for me, I don't put harsh discipline on myself. I also know the things that I'm aiming for, so I keep those in the back of my mind, but I don't put so much pressure on it. I put more of the just be aware, be mindful. Like, do you want to eat that apple? Or do you want to have some chocolate? Where's there room in your day? And you know what? Scratch that. Would this just make you happy? So I really try not to overwhelm my thoughts with too much discipline. I'm a healthy person. I'm a strong person. That's really what I care about. So I'm mindful about my eating and my drinking. And by drinking, I mean alcohol. I like a glass of wine, but I'm not going to overdo it. I'm going to be mindful about it. I'm taking that especially into the new year for sure. And number 7 on my daily weekly goals that I will also be taking into the next year is love and let love. What does that mean? Maybe you can have your own interpretation, but love. If I lead my day by loving myself and others and let others love me back and just let love be a thing all the time, constantly, it's just a beautiful thing. And something I'll add is to maintain my focus on kindness. And I think love and kindness go together. I have a whole episode on kindness. It's probably if it's not my number 1, it's pretty up there as far as my values and things that really, really matter to me is kindness. And I do believe that goes right there with love. So love and kindness needs to be ever present for me in my world, with my family, with my friends. If I feel love and kindness in any given moment, I'm on the right track. Like that's a real good indicator for me. So I'm going to keep that alive as one of the things I will seek and own and give and receive is that love and kindness, and that super matters to me. So those are my goals I wanted to share with you for last year and continuing forward. And I'll be honest, I do need to make time. I will make time. We can all do this to sit down and really think about, okay, what's next? And maybe I add one more goal to the business. That's probably a certainty because I want to grow. And I probably will assess and see what all's coming with me, which, as I've said, pretty much everything from last year is continuing on with me. Maybe I'll add something to it, right? So think about your goals for 2024. How'd you do? What are you proud of? What wins are you collecting? And what are you taking with you into the next year? What will you focus on? So as I was moving through telling you about my daily and weekly goals, those are things that I can focus on immediately. Hey, pretty personal stuff, just so you know. But I trust you, and we're all in this together in a way, and I wanted to share what mattered to me and what my goals look like. And I do have another more broken down list of goals because I put actions to them. That's what coaching is, right? we take the things we want to do and then we figure out how to do them. So of course, my how to and the plans and the actions are part of all of these promises I make to myself. I use the word promise on purpose. Sometimes it's a better word than saying goal. That's a little mindset trick for you, and that's something I will talk more about in another episode about New Year's resolutions versus calling them New Year's promises. So stick around. I'm glad you're here. And I hope that you are thinking about all that went so well for you in the past year and all that will go well for you in the next year. And when you sit down to process what you've been through and think about what's next and what's continuing for you and what's going to need your focus, be so kind to yourself, love yourself. Even when there's a challenge ahead or there's something that you need to tackle, being nice to yourself, being kind to yourself is a much gentler way to still get the things done. We can be kind to ourselves and others and productive. So, Happy New Year. Thank you for being here. Your needs matter because you matter. Take care. Thank you so much for listening to the Needy and Normal podcast. It means the world for me to have you here each week. Before you go, please leave me a rating and a review. It helps the podcast. I'd really appreciate it so more people can be a part of our community of understanding that your needs matter and it's normal to have those needs. If you're curious about coaching, check out ablifecoaching.com. I'd love to meet you. I do free initial coaching sessions to discover how I can be of service to you. And coming January 2025, I will be doing my one of two. I only offer 2 live coaching programs per year, and they are specifically designed to help you move through a transition with more confidence and more grace while taking care of your needs. It is for anyone who's facing something new, and in the new year, come on, that's all of us. So check that out. If you'd like to get on the email list so you don't miss any information, go ahead and send me an email, ashley@ablifecoaching.com, or you can find me on Instagram at ablifecoaching. You can always click that contact us button on my website at ablifecoaching.com. I wish you well. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you soon.